Welcome to this AK74U class loadout video. If you've watched the other video on my channel, the only other one, it's a video of me using the AK74U. I like it quite a lot. In fact, it's probably my favourite gun in the game. So that's why I thought I'd make an in-depth review of the loadout. As you can see, I don't really have many other guns leveled up. I've used the MP5 a bit in zombies. I barely used any assault rifles. But I have the AK74U Max. That means that I've used all the attachments. I know which ones are good, which ones can help. Which is why I've decided to do two different loadouts. One for the shorter range. Now this just covers most of the maps, just like your average loadout that you just take normally in normal games. But then I have another one which I'll go over first, which is the long range, which is because the maps, Treyarch have made bigger maps, like Miami, which a lot of people don't really like. But when you do play them, you want a loadout that's going to be a bit more longer range, so you are able to fight against those guns like the XM4s and the AKs, especially in this meta, and especially the M16 and the AUG. So I'll just jump straight into it with the first thing that's very important, and one of the main reasons I'm doing this video, which is this suppressor. Now, I guess you're wondering, what do you mean? It's just a suppressor. Negative 15% damage range and 100% muzzle flash concealment. So what's so good about it? Well, one of the things that I thought I'd do this video for is I don't think many people go over this. They don't look into this enough. They don't really use the gun much. But as you can see, if I go onto barrels, and it happens with certain barrels, the iron sights change. And this only happens with this suppressor and the growl suppressor here, if I show you. If you look at the front iron sights, they change from this barrel to this barrel, and it's a massive improvement for this gun, especially at the range, which is the loadout I'm doing now. But the two loadouts I'm doing are very similar, so don't worry about that. Just listen to it and you'll understand what I'm saying. So for the muzzle, definitely take the suppressor. It's gonna help in every situation with those iron sights, and a lot of people nowadays are using suppressors because you have a really fast TTK, and so if you just get more shots out, people knowing where you're shooting from, you're more likely to get those good kill streaks, which I can tell you are quite hard to get if you got a stack of people. So if we move on to the barrel, for the longer range, there are two main barrels that you should choose. As you see, this one has good damage range, which is really nice, but it doesn't have that nice iron sight. So the two that I'd suggest is either the 9.3 VDV reinforced barrel, or the original, the 9.3 extended, because it gives you that better bullet velocity, and as you can see, it doesn't do anything to your speed. Or you can take the VDV reinforced, which hurts your speed a bit, but it gives you that extra, bullet velocity? Yeah, it gives you the extra bullet velocity, which is amazing in this game. If you've seen J-God's video, which you should watch, J-God's amazing. He says that all the bullet velocities for these guns are terrible, so it's always handy to have that. So I'll take this one for this, and as you can see, our speed's taking a hit, but we've got better ammo and better firepower. I actually don't know where that ammo's come from, but yeah, we've got it, so take it, I guess. Anyway, moving on. Oh, the reason I haven't taken the optic, by the way, is because of this iron sight. If you were to take a different barrel, then I would suggest taking an optic, unless you're comfortable with those iron sights. But seriously, you won't need one, trust me, it's amazing. Now, if we go on to body, don't really need any of these. Reveal distance doesn't really do much in this game, or as far as I'm concerned, it hasn't really helped me. I've never really used it properly, so I can't tell. From what I'm aware, I don't really need it to hit my shots. But the one thing that people might use is a steady aim laser, or any of the lasers that help the hip fire accuracy. I don't think it's very necessary in this gun though, because it's got a slow fire rate compared to things like the MP5 and the FFR, for example, stuff like that, and therefore you're not going to be getting many shots off, so you want them to be accurate. To get the highest TTK, you need to be accurate, therefore you want to have a good ADS time. Your hip fire accuracy doesn't matter that much, because you're not going to be hip firing that much for this gun. That's just the truth. So no body, and we only have 5 attachments, so body's not worth it. Foregrip, very important for this gun. It's got a lot of recoil for an SMG. Compared to the others in this game, I think it's one of the worst. Can't be sure, haven't really used them much, so you use them, see which one's worse. But from what I'm concerned, it needs a foregrip. And the only two that I'd suggest using is this one, Spetsnaz grip, and the original foregrip. So the second last and the first one. These are the ones I've used the most. No, this one, the foregrip's always good. You know, no negatives, only positives. But for the longer range variant, I'm going to take the Spetsnaz grip. Always helps with the vertical recoil, especially with this gun. Amazing. Can't really tell the difference in speed. Maybe a bit, but in the long term, not going to matter too much. Especially if you're sliding around the map at 200 miles an hour. So, moving on. We're going to need a magazine next. Obviously, this one's very personal preference based. It barely does anything. You know, you get that negative ADS time. But we have other attachments to help that, especially one that will come up next. So what I suggest is either for this loadout, maybe not the next one, is the 50 round mag or the 40 round mag. The speed mags, that is, not the drums. Not worth it. So I'm just going to go with the 50 round mag so I can get the extra shots off. It has helped me in the past. And the reason you can choose this 50 round mag, which hurts 25% ADS time, which is bad on the SMG because you really want the ADS time. You want to snap onto targets and hit them instantly. So what the handle does is negates that completely. Completely negates that. So it doesn't even exist. There is no negatives. So yeah, I'd suggest taking the serpent wrap because the growl elastic. Oh no, sorry, no. I'm actually stupid. You do want to take the growl elastic wrap and not the serpent wrap because the negatives, it's quite big, but they're not things that really matter too much. Sprint to fire time, yeah, that's bad, but with a long range gun, that's not going to matter too much. You're not going to be trying to get up close and snap on as much as you are with other shorter range weapons. And the growl elastic wrap does so much for you, especially with this gun. I know I'm sorry, I drop shot quite a lot, maybe not as consciously as other people, but I do it, so that always helps. But if you don't want all these negatives, the serpent wrap is fine, the speed wrap's fine. This gun is good if you have it low level because you get that 40 round mags quite early, you get the suppressor very early as well, and the barrel. By the time you have the barrel, you literally have the best, one of the best versions of the guns. Obviously, if you level it up more, you get a few extras, but then they also come in negatives. So in a way, still just as good having it low level as it is high level. It's really just down to preference. Now for our secondary, and I'll be talking about the whole loadout with the perks and everything in this video. Secondary, pistols. Haven't used them a lot. Don't want to. I don't like pistols. Never have. So I always go with the shotgun. And until a few days ago, about a week ago, I'd say this one, the QS77, sorry if I pronounced that wrong, was better, in my opinion. If you were accurate, it was better, because it was a one-shot kill way more often than the Gallo was, Gallo's usually a two-shot kill. So if you can snap on, you can hit those shots. And they've nerfed the shotguns now, so it's less likely to be a one-shot kill. And it's very noticeable in this gun, especially when you're facing people with the Gallo. As you can see, I'm sure you know, if you don't, it's very overpowered in zombies, which is why I have it leveled up so much. And I will be releasing a zombies loadout video soon, so if you are watching this, anyone, then look out for that. But what I'd suggest for this gun, very quickly, duck bell choke. Helps you hit more shots on your target because it's less spread out in a way. In a certain way it is. And this one you can take either the fire rate ones. I'd suggest this one because the effective damage range really helps when you're fighting other people with Gallows and MP5s, for example. A steady aim, just a laser, what is it called, a body, is very important because of I'm sure a lot of you know, fire rate very important on this gun. Sorry, not fire rate, accuracy. Hip fire accuracy is very important because you're not going to be aiming down sight too much with this gun. You want to get those shots off quick, and that's what but that's what the body does. Extended mag's easy. You just want a 12 round extended mag. Helps a lot in this gun. 9 round tube's nice, but the 12 is necessary almost for me. I've had it quite a lot where it's very necessary. Handle. None of these really do much for shotguns. You're not going to be ADSing too much. With my experience, you don't really need the flinch resistance because it's a shotgun. You've got that massive range. Flinching isn't going to do much. and aiming whilst going prone, not really necessary. So, they take the wire stock, marathon stock if you really want that, or the no stock at all. All three of them help, but they help with sprint to fire time, which is nice, but they decrease hip fire accuracy, so it's how much you depend on that. So I'll just take the one that negates it that doesn't have any negatives, just to make it easier, my life a bit easier. Now tactical, plain and simple, I go with the stim. You can go with the stun or the flashbang, if you swing that way. Semtex, always nice, best in my opinion. Haven't really seen many C4 players. It is quite good. C4 is quite nice. I think it's a bit underrated, but I think Semtex is just, you know, your average good lethal. Field mic for longer ranges, probably want something like a SAM turret or trophy if you're going for points, but I just like the field mic. Been using it since day one, so that's just one I stick with. Now perks, very important. These can change between the two classes that I'm talking about. Well, not really classes, just the difference in the guns. When I move on to the short range, the perks might change a bit, but that's really up to you. It's all personal preference based. Flak jacket is the one that you need here. Out of all of these, flak jacket is the one that you need. Now, tactical mask can be switched out with forward intel any day of the week. Forward intel is amazing. You have a larger minimap, you know, always helps. And you see reinforcements, enemy reinforcements. You know where to go if you're going for those high kill streak. But if you get in those lobbies which are just a bit harder, I feel like tactical mask is a little better because there's more people that are trying to flash and get those easy kills on you. Perk 2, I feel like we kind of got a bit. They didn't nice perk 2 Treyarch. They didn't give us some nice perks. They could have given us some better ones, I think. Scavenger can be good if you don't have a lot of ammo, but I don't think that's a problem in this game as much as it has been in, say, Black Ops 3 or 4 or even 2. And then perk 3. Perk 3, you have some amazing perks here. Pretty much all of them I would say to use. Like, try them all out. This is up to you. Spycraft maybe not so much. Ninja is very good. I love it, especially since Modern Warfare. It's been really fun getting behind people, executing them, anything like that. Cold-blooded can help, especially with the attack helicopters, but they've got enough, so maybe it's not as important. Gung-Ho is amazing for those shorter range gunfights where you have your weapon, you move a bit faster, everything like that. But Ghost is just a lot better if you want to get kill streaks. If you're in those higher tier lobbies where people are constantly looking at their mini-maps, just Ghost helps that little bit, you know. It just helps in a lot of different situations. So there you have it. It's a full loadout for the AK74U. For the long and the short, most of this stays the same. Few perks change. All of the tactical, lethal and field upgrade stays, and your secondary stays. And you also want the wildcard perk, greed. If you don't have that yet, then the only other one I can really suggest is Gunfighter for the AK74U. But one thing I would like to state is the shorter range version. As you can see with this gun, the speed is hit hard. There is a big decrease in speed, and the two things you can do to help this is using this barrel here, the Task Force, the last one you unlock, which may be harder for some people to grind to, but there's double weapon XP at the moment. If there is, or you have smaller maps, just try and get somewhere where you can level it up more using Dirty Bomb. But it helps a lot, because you have that extra damage, and with every other barrel you do damage of 38, and the 41 still kills in the same amount of bullets at that effective damage range of 10 meters, or 8 meters, 6 meters, all of these, it just has the same. But as soon as you get to those further range engagements where your recoil is worse, you want to shoot, you want to kill in less bullets just to make it easier. And there are some bad negatives here. Starting max ammo, that is harsh, but there's a way to fix this. So choose that barrel if you want to go for the shorter range one, the one that can handle the MP5s easily, and the M16s and the AUGs still going to destroy you, but they're always going to destroy you unless they give them recoil. And if you're going with this, I would suggest going with the GRU mag clamp, the Growl mag clamp. This can help because you get that extra starting max ammo, which can take back for what the barrel does. And it's also good because with this extra damage you're not going to be shooting as many bullets, so you don't need those extended mags. And now what's important is I want you to look at the firepower, speed, accuracy and ammo and tell me that that's bad. The only thing is a tiny bit of red on the speed, which is not even noticeable in game compared to the original. If you were to, I'm sure you'd find something, but it's barely noticeable if you're just playing. So I would suggest, if you're used to the longer range one, you want to try something out, you feel more confident with yourself and with the AK74U, try this variant, because once you get used to the recoil it's really nice and it kills super quickly. If you land headshots, few shots they're dead. It will shock you how quickly it kills them. And that's all I have for today. This is the Loadout. If you want to see gameplay of that, I have a chilled out kind of, not even trying to get kills, just playing the game because I'm bored, video up on my channel as well, which is, if you want to look, you can look at that. That's, you know, that's the glory of YouTube. Watch what you want. But thank you for watching this video. If you stayed to the end, I appreciate that a lot. Please think about subscribing. I'm really just trying to grow, but then again, I'm just doing this for fun at the moment, so enjoy the rest of your day. See you later.